Nosgoth finally brings in the new Prophet class for the human side, Rise of Incarnates starts its alpha testing, and Hazard Ops gives you 28 ways to die in closed beta. What's happening, guys? This is James Blom with MMOHuts.com with a quick weekly recap for MMO news and announcements for the week ending June 2nd, 2014. And our first bit of news this week is letting you guys know, if you haven't found out already, that Magicka Wizard Wars is in open beta, bringing with it a brand new map. Now, the changeover to open beta actually introduces quite a bit of new content, including new robes, staffs, unique skins, and a new magic called Raise Dead, which you can probably guess what that is. It calls forth zombies that like to hunt down your enemies. The new Wizard Warfare map takes place in a dark cave that makes the spell effects in the game shine pretty nicely. If you're looking for a fast-paced action PvP game that's heavily skill-based and genuinely challenging, now's your chance to give this game a shot. Another game headed to open beta this month is LEGO Minifigures Online from Funcom. And though we don't have an exact day to which it starts, open beta is coming, and to kick it off, they put out this new video showing you the medieval world in this massive LEGO realm. Now, out of all the LEGO worlds available, this is probably one that best resembles the typical fantasy-style MMORPG. Just with, well, you know, Legos. If you're interested in the game, keep an eye out at MMOHuts.com for the official launch date of open beta, which we assume is probably going to be around mid-month. Just a little update on Heroes and General's patent update. This past week they released another huge content update with new Russian weapons, weapon personalization, captured enemy weapons, and more than 200 new battlefields on the campaign map. The level design team has also been hard at work revamping the Mountain Village map. The landscape and train station area has received the most prominent facelifts. They've definitely started releasing way more updates and changes to the game than they have in the past. So check out the latest dev blog to get a nice overview of what they've added and changed so far. Next up, Gazillion Entertainment is lining up for a new launch for Marvel Heroes branding, coinciding with a 1-year anniversary milestone on June 4th. Calling it Marvel Heroes 2015 to nicely represent everything they've accomplished and intend to accomplish in one name. This major changeover includes even more game content, including in-game raids, alternate advancement systems, and other various additions, so they say. It's a bit hard to conclude as to how big of a scale the change is going to be, but they do have a nice new teaser here showing off a prelude to what's coming, starting with a new in-game raid against the ruler of the fire demons himself, Surtur.
All shall fall.
Well, it looks like some of those kick-ass summer games I told you guys about are starting to show up now. First off, we've got ZMR starting closed beta as of May 27th, and from the looks of things, you're still able to sign up and receive the first blood pack that you can use throughout until all the way till the open beta. This past week, they released a new trailer showing off the various game modes available and how to avoid dying in them. You know what, I'm not sure what it is, but these trailers make me want to watch some classic Ren and Stimpy.
To keep the bad guys out. But no barricade can keep
Maybe it's just
the bad
me.
guys out forever.
But, on a very similar note, in fact it's the same game, different place, Hazard Ops has started its closed beta in Europe this past week as well. It's the same game as ZMR, just published by Infernum in Europe under a different name. The content available is a little bit different than ZMR. With Hazard Ops, the first phase will be focused on PvE missions, having them deal with mutant explosive dogs biting at their legs, armored zombies laughing at machine guns, and, of course, meat grinding traps to watch out for. The new video promoting the closed beta shows you 28 ways to die in closed beta. My favorite, the bitch slap. It's a rough way to die. Another kick-ass summer game showing up is Rise of Incarnates. Created by some of the developers behind Tekken and Soul Calibur, this 2v2 arena battle game just started up its first alpha test this past weekend from May 30th to June 1st. The game seems to be in fairly early development, and several players have mentioned some crashes and bugs, but that stuff should get cleared up along with more alpha tests coming available in the future. For now, it looks like they're going to happen on the weekends, so keep an eye out for those. For sure excited for this one though, it looks pretty intense. Next up, a week or two ago, F.E.A.R Online popped up once again, almost out of nowhere, going into closed beta immediately. But as of now, as of a few days ago anyway, the beta is no longer restricted access. So in other words, it's already in open beta. Player feedback from the alpha was used to help redesign and adjust the gameplay to hopefully offer the unique FPS experience the devs were going for. So the game now has new maps, a new scenario, and redesigned crafting system which allows players to make a one-of-a-kind weapon. Check the link in the description below to download and check out the game yourself. Also last week, Gaijin Entertainment announced that War Thunder is launching on the PS4 free-to-play on June 3rd. Now the cool thing about this is that the game will take full advantage of the PS4 features, providing players who have the PlayStation camera with improved head tracking system. The game will feature full 1080p resolution and even cross-platform play against PC players, which is always good. The other cool part is that the launch on the PS4 will also include the Ground Forces expansion, opening all aspects of the game to several million more players worldwide. And speaking of Ground Forces, My.com is going to be at E3 showing off some sick games, one of which is Armored Warfare. Last week they launched a teaser trailer revealing a bit more gameplay footage prior to the big reveal planned at E3. They've made a few changes and expanded on the game's official website. Now you can sign up for the beta, which may be sooner than we expected. But all I can say is that out of all the tank warfare games, I'm liking the fast-paced nature of this one. Seems like it has a nice arcade look to it. And again, speaking of war games and E3, Wargaming is planning some big World of Warships stuff at E3, from what we can tell. They've started up a new dev diary series on the game, and the first one introduces the research behind the game and the tactical approaches players are able to take in battle. The new video gets you started on understanding how the balancing works between the 4 different types of ships you can choose from right now, but in case you're wondering, they're not putting submarines in the game. Check out the dev diary to find out why. Next up, Perfect World Entertainment announced last week that Swordsman Online is entering closed beta from June 16th through June 27th, and if you register now, you'll receive access to the game and not have to wait around to get chosen for access. We didn't have a date before, and now we do, so if you sign up early, you get access to exclusive items, so head over to the MMOHuts site post right here for more details on the way to sign up. And finally, for our last bit of news, Square Enix and Psyonix finally bring us the latest playable character for the humans in Nosgoth, the Prophet. I've got to admit, she's pretty badass. Prophets use tainted blood as weapons. Their bullets carry wicked hexes that are capable of repelling or weakening attackers. And with her second ability, she's able to rip life force from a target vampire in order to heal, and she's also got a sacrifice that channels health into a target teammate at the expense of a portion of her own. Of course, it's also cool that she's set up with the dual flintlock pistols. Hopefully after E3 we can get you guys more keys to get into the game. But until then, guys, that's about it for this week's MMO news and announcements. If you're looking for more information regarding the news in the video, check the links in the description below. Otherwise, head over to MMOHuts.com/news for even more MMO news. Feel free to discuss the news in the comments below, or head over to MMOHuts.com/forums. But until next time, guys, that's going to be it for me. I'm James Blonde. See you out there, gamers.